Okay, so we have our actually 4-panel with our add-on pocket here, and there's our hinge. And now here are the ones that I've done, and I'm going to walk you through this. Now I've got mine that I already started to decorate, but we're going to go step by step here. So the next pieces we're going to do are on page 8 and page 9. You want to cut out the tri-fold base, the pocket for panel 3, and this one that is on page 9 says tri-fold panel 3 reverse pocket. And so what these are, let me show you so you can pick your paper out. This is the pocket on this side of this flap here. So we're going to cut a window in it, and then this one goes inside and it creates a pocket on this side. So you're going to want to put a decorative paper under here before you glue this down. So let me show you what mine looks like. So on this one, and actually I don't really like what I did, but I'm going to show you anyway. I cut a piece of my paper that I did on a jelly plate, and I glued it down as a base underneath this because you're going to put a window in here, and so it's going to look through. Now you can put something behind the window and you won't even see the base, but I put that there just in case. So if I want to now, I mean, I could take something else and put it here and you won't see that anymore. So this may or may not show, but that was what I did. I put a piece of something behind it just in case. So either way, now on this one I didn't, because I had the brown paper base, and I'm okay with the brown paper showing. I just don't like white paper showing. So this still needs something to be put in the window here. So I cut this flap on page 9 for both of these. And then I just took, what did I use? I used my matte gel jar. And I just set it down on here. And I drew around it with a pencil and cut it out. And then I took a piece of acetate from just whatever, I had this piece of acetate left from something I bought. So I just cut it out, and it gave me 2 pieces. So I used one on one of these and one on the other. And so I glued it, so I cut this out of the paper, and then I flipped it over, glued the acetate over that circle that I cut out, and now you've got your window. And all you have to do then is glue it on these 3 edges here, or this curved edge and this one down at the bottom. Glue it over your base, and then your pocket's here. And so then on the inside, I glued a decorative paper on both of them, and I didn't worry about it being a straight edge or anything because I've got brown paper showing on this one. This one, I actually had this glued over it, but it's starting to fold back up. But anyway, I put a little piece of paper. You could use washi tape or whatever. And then I cut my pocket out, which was on page 8, this pocket for panel 3, and just glue it on this curved edge in the base, and that gives you your inside pocket. And so that's that. And then I picked out a decorative paper for here. Now, this is gonna be, let me show you the finished journal again. Here's the finished journal that I did. This is my wisdom journal. Okay, so here's this one. And there just put a piece of paper with a couple of Tim Holtz die cut butterflies in it. On it, I didn't even do anything fancy. I just wanted to hurry up and get it in there and see if it was gonna work. And I have never gone back to fix it. So there it is for my window. And I also inked my window, so if you want to do that. Here's my pocket on the inside. So now, these panels that you're going to decorate, we're going to cover, don't forget, we're going to cover it up a lot. So I just used a plain kind of paper, no big deal. Same thing on this one. We've got 2 pockets that we're going to put over on this panel. So only the top part is going to show. And then on this short fold, you're going to have a pocket that covers a big chunk of it. So whatever you pick out is just going to show here on the edge. So pick your papers out. And so I used like this piece of a children's storybook on here and a piece of this because it's only going to show at the top. This, not going to show much. Same thing on this one. And then on this pocket that we glued on, you can decorate it. Now it will show, let me show you how much it shows. Whatever you put on this little pocket, it's sort of like a little centerpiece, like it does show. So pick something really cute, real pretty to use for that, because it's kind of a star of the show piece right there. So I used this butterfly on here, and on this one I used, what did I use? Oh, what I did is I didn't really have anything that I liked, so I made something. I just took a piece of a French dictionary and glued it on, and then I used some Tim Holtz die-cut flowers, and he had this like a library card. So I glued those on and just kind of created a little vignette there. On the other side of it is your pocket, and so I glued some brown paper inside it, and on this one, and then I did the same thing on this pocket. I used that same paper and just glued some more of those little Tim Holtz die cuts on here. And then on the masculine, what did I do? Oh, I used blueprint on the inside, and I just folded this picture over on that pocket and used it. So, decorate your pocket. Okay, I've decided I'm going to, so we need a string to wrap around a button. So I'm going to use ribbon. Let's see. No, I'm going to use string. Let me find my string. Okay, so I've got this hemp cord that I found at a dollar store, and I'm going to take, let's see, the dark brown. No, I'm going to use the beige. I'm going to use like the natural color. Okay, so we need to glue a piece of string on this panel before we put the pockets over it. And so I'm going to cut a piece. Okay, so cut a piece about 1 foot long. And I am going to take a piece of masking tape and some glue. And I want the string to be about there. So I'm going to do that. And we're going to cover that up in a minute. So there's that one. And then on the pink one, and same thing here. Put some glue. Masking tape. And then we'll cover that up. And that will go here and wrap around the button. So now I'm going to add buttons. Okay, I was going to do a button, but I've got my pocket glued down, and I don't want to have to tear it back out to sew a button on. If you're going to sew a button on, do it before you close this up, or else pull it apart and sew it on. But I'm going to use brads, and I think I can get away with putting a brad on with the pocket already in there. Okay, so I'm going to use my awl and carefully poke a hole so that it doesn't go through my pocket. And I think right there. And I'm going to use this brad. These are Bo Bunny brads. And this will give it something, the string, something to wrap around. Okay, and I'm just able to get my fingers down in there and spread those wires apart so you'll be able to shut this. Actually, I need it to lift up just a little bit. So it'll go around here like that. And the other one, put that right there. And actually my string is right there. So I need to put that a little higher up on this. So be sure you look at that where your string is. I need to double check that on the other one. Okay, and so that can be the button for that one to wrap around. And I'm going to cut it off just a little bit. Okay, so we've got our buttons on these pockets. And now we are ready to do the pockets themselves. And so you're going to go to page 11, and here's your two pockets. So cut those out. Okay, and they're going to stack like that and like that. However high up you need to make it, depending on where your string and your paper is. So then we need to pick the paper out. All right, I got my papers. And so what I'm gonna do, so here I found this old piece of the storybook I'm gonna use on the feminine one for the pockets, and it's kind of thin and brittle, so I'm gonna make a frame for it out of just plain paper. And then for the masculine, I'm gonna use that map again and some of this printout, which is on really thin paper, so I'm going to cut a base for those two. So I'm taking a piece of cardstock again, like I've been doing kind of all along, and I'm going to make a set of pockets for each of these and then glue my paper to that. Okay, I changed my mind. The only pocket that will fit on this map paper that I have is the small pocket. And so it's very similar in tone to the rest of this. And so I didn't want to use these papers like this because it was going to be too much the same. So I wanted some contrast. So I'm going to use this piece of green for the big pocket, and then the map will go over the top of that. So I think that will look better. And so, let's see if I can get this readable. And cut this out. And actually, I'm gonna do what I did before and glue this down and then cut it out, because that way I don't have to line it up perfectly. I just cut it exactly the way it needs to fit this piece of paper. And this was my pattern. So, okay, so this is now going to become my pattern. And I better put that away before I do something else. All right, so this add on page 11, pockets. 2 of 2. Okay. And I still need that one. Okay, so I'm gonna leave them there. Do I? No, I don't. I've got them cut out. So this goes over the top to cover this tape up. So I just need to make sure it's up at least that far. I keep thinking it's trash that needs to be brushed off, but it's not. It's my string to tie on my button over here. And then this one will go down at the bottom like that. Make sure you don't get it glued over the folds on any of these and that it will fold up. I say that after I do mine. Let's see, it is popping up just right there on the fold. So I am going to trim that back just a little bit and re-glue it because it will pop up. Okay, so all right, so there's those two pockets. Strings where it belongs. Okay. And so now I'm going to do the feminine one, pink one. It's going to show just a little bit along the edges. So I'm going to take some colored distress ink and let's see, maybe the aged mahogany, that dark red color. Hope it doesn't clash. And do the whole thing just to make sure. And let's see, I want, I don't want that to cut out her head, so let me make sure. I guess I'll take it right up to the edge. And so this will go, and I need to cut that notch out. This will go here. And then, do I have enough? And that will go here. I think I'm going to cut that picture off because it's not really add anything to it. And actually, just add some distress ink to, so it's not so plain. And then I'll just I kind of hate to lose because it's saying, see the girl in the fan. So I wonder if I move this up, I'm going to cut this pocket off so that I can still see the fan and still leave enough room to put something up here in this pocket. So that means I need to cut off about that much right there. Okay, so about 3/4 of an inch, looks like. So now I'm wondering if I need to, I think I'll put some more ink on this. actually, I think I'm going to stamp on there too. I'm going to move it up just a little bit so it doesn't have that white flash. I'd rather have a white flash at the bottom where I can cover it up with ink.